Hey, everybody. I think I'm live. So, welcome to the stream, number 1. Number 2, thank you for joining me. I hope that everything is going swimmingly because usually I have a team. I have a great team. I either have Brooks with me, I have Al Borland with me. Right now, though, it's just me. I'm in my office at home. Check it out. Living the dream. I got the signal from Al Borland. Looks like the audio is going all right. So here's what we are doing today. People have asked me a lot. I mean, it's one of the top questions I get. Obviously, not a start sit question, but how do you do the audio? How are you making the drops? What's your process look like? So I thought, what better way to address that than going live for the first time when I have no idea what I'm doing for a live stream. So I'm going to operate all the bells, all the whistles, all the pulleys, all the levers, everything. And I'm going to try and give you an inside peek at my process, how I do this. Hope everyone is surviving out there, staying safe. This is a weird time and situation for all of us. But hopefully, the footballers, hopefully we're giving you some content that's helping raise your spirits. I can see the comments and things as they're happening as well. So if there's any questions and I happen to catch it, maybe I can address it. So let's get right into it. Blam! Oh, look at that. All right. I record in Logic. That is my DAW, my digital audio workspace of choice. They all basically do the same thing, but I choose to work in Logic. Granted, back when I was working for Jason at the game studio, I was in Logic 9, and now we're in Logic Pro X. So I was much better in Logic 9. I don't get to spend as much time in the workstation as I would like. But here we are. This is what Logic Pro X looks like, and what you can see here, I could be like the weatherman. What you can see right here, that's a bunch of drops. So, for example, let me play you one that happens to be my favorite drop.
Preseason Power Up.
All right. So, that's what a completed drop sounds like. And the people who are talking about live, don't worry. My guitar's right back there. I'm going to pull it out, and we're going to work on a live drop. But I just wanted to show you kind of my process of what I'm doing here. So hopefully everyone can kind of see what's going on. I know you can't see my cursor. I apologize for that. This was kind of hey, let's get this going. So maybe I do it again and you can see the cursor. Funny enough, Owl just saying, hey, you can't see the cursor. So here's what we got. All right. Here is the waveform for the voiceover. So I took Jason, who we've kept it secret for a very, very long time. Jason is the voiceover guy. I just have to do some things, and if you want to know, here I'll just show you kind of what that sounds like. So here's Jason of the original Mailbag drop.
Mailbag.
So I took that. Hold on now, because I can't show you exactly how it gets done. Because that's a trade secret, but I take that and I turn that into
Mailbag.
Boom. Lots of plugins, lots of magic has to go into making that happen, but you can go from this
Mailbag
to this
Mailbag.
All right. So back to where we were with the preseason power up. So the way that let me switch my screen back. The way that I attack this, I have 3 parts of guitar. I stack my guitars. I have a bass and my drums. Now the bass and the drums, I just go with software instruments. Gets the job done. Sounds pretty good. So let me break down. Oh crap! Now I lost my OBS. There we go. Whew. Let me break down what this sounds like by itself. All right. So here is one part of the guitar. Right? So I have that. That's my left channel. And if you're like, hey, he's not explaining this very well, I'm trying to figure this out off the top of my head, how to explain my process. So bear with me. This is the first time for this. But that's how I start about it. I have my riff. I figure it out, and then I break it down. Let me play that for you one more time. So that's my low part. Then I make a middle part, and that sounds like this. Then I add a high part, and that sounds like this. So, boom. So hopefully that makes some sense. And then you put all those guitars together, and this is what you get. You get a pretty nice full sound, and then I add some bass over that I will play on the keyboard, and I'll play some drums over there as well. So that's the basic makeup. And if you're wondering, like, how am I getting my guitar sounds? They're just stock, man. That's just a stock tone. I hate to either break that to you, or I like to break that to you because you're listening to the tone. You really like the particular tone that I have with my guitar. I'm just using stock plugins, man, and Logic Pro gets it done. All right. So now let's go to actual creation. So we have taken Jason's voice, we have modulated it.
Mailbag.
Now it sounds really good. That's a man, right? That is a manly man there going with the mailbag. So let's play around with that. I'll get my guitar out. We'll kind of make some riffs, and we'll see if we like anything that's going on, and then we'll turn that into a new mailbag riff. I don't want to just duplicate the mailbag riff that you guys hear all the time. Here's my guitar. This is my Britney Spears guitar. It is an Ibanez Universe. It is a 7-string. I have had this guitar since 7th or 8th grade. So however old that makes you when you're there, I don't know. But that's how old I was when I got this. And this has been my favorite guitar ever since, at least for tone wise. And it's a little injured. My volume knob doesn't work so well, but let's see if we can get this on here. I gotta actually plug it in. Look at me. Look how prepared I am for my live stream. All right. So hopefully Al Borland can confirm that you can actually hear my guitar going in the live stream. So generally speaking, now what I would be doing, I just plug in. I think of, what's the motif of the drop. Sometimes I actually try and connect it, like preseason power up, power line. It's thin at best. Or free agent frenzy. I did Hall of the Mountain King. It's what Yeah. Okay. Owl. Yes, it should be left channel only on the guitar because this is the. Here, let me switch over to the middle guitar. All right. Now you can hear it in both channels. Perfect. So, all right. So let's think. So I think mailbag is like. It's something like that. It was 6 years ago when I actually recorded that and made up that riff. So let's mess around here. Let's think of something new. Like I don't know. And mostly when I'm doing stuff for the footballers, I'm just, like playing pentatonic scales and things like that. Ooh, which maybe I'll get into like playing the actual Fantasy Footballers theme song. I don't know if I'll do that on this live stream, but something like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that. Maybe this live stream, maybe something else. Oh, we're getting a lot of what interface questions. Yes, Owl Borland, please try and keep me if there's a lot of the same question getting asked. So I use a Complete Audio 6. I would move the webcam, but I think I'll screw it up and I won't get it back in a good spot. But Complete Audio, Native Instruments makes it. It's a really sturdy 2-channel, essentially 2-channel interface, 2 XLRs. I think it's technically a 6-input audio interface, but it just USBs right into the computer. It gets the job done. And I don't know, I've had this for a very long time, have had no problems with it. So, back to the creation of this mailbag drop. We're doing I feel like I've done that for a riff of something else, but whatever. I like it, Let's try that out. So, like I said, I then break my riff down into 3 guitar parts to stack it. So that would be my low part. So let's go over here. Let's get this. Now I'm on my low channel, which is only over in the left. Then we got to figure out what our tempo is. And I'm sure there are people who can use Logic better than me. I kind of just hit record and hear the click track. And I figured out from there. So let's see where our BPMs are at currently. Okay. So let's go. Oop, I turned my voice off. That's too slow. So we're going to come up here. This is your tempo area. And we're going to speed that up a little bit. I don't know, 190. Do we think that's fast enough? Bo-do-do-do-bo-do-do. Yep, that looks pretty good. So, I'm going to record the low part of the riff, and then I'll get into the middle, and then I will get into the high part. I think that was the riff. All right, let's listen back to that. Okay, I got it. I hope this is making sense, at least somewhat, giving you the insight into what I do for the drops. So I'm going to change my guitar channel to the mid, as you can see, not from the pointer, but from the record, the channel that is armed that has changed, and now I'm in the middle. So. And I think that's a pretty good spot to start. So let's layer on. Let's stack a little bit onto that low part of the guitar. Timing not the best. Timing not the best on that one. We're gonna try one more time. All right, much better. Much better. That's recording my microphone, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, that's fine. You can delete that. All right. So we have 2 parts of the guitar going. Let's hear it if it worked how I wanted it to work. Sure, that's pretty good. It's a pretty mean little generic pentatonic riff, but, I like it. All right. So on this one, and I think someone just in the chat was mentioning harmonies. I wasn't really intending for this riff to be a harmonized riff, but I can, if people like this and we're stuck in our rooms for a while, maybe I come back and I do another one. But But so now I'm going to tag on the high part of the guitar riff, kind of complete my 3 guitar stack, and that'll sound like this. So that's the riff. Let's record. Little sloppy. We'll go back. We'll do that one more time. All right. So we got the guitar done. Perfect. So we have let's listen to this stunning, incredible masterpiece of octave guitar work. There it is. Listen to that. And now it's time for this guy. Let's see here. Maybe? Let's figure out how we get this guy going. Oh, I just realized that my keyboard is not even plugged in because of this webcam stuff that I had to do. So that's embarrassing, but I think I can figure out how to get it plugged in. Just give me like 2 seconds here. Shazam! Ha ha ha! Whew. That was almost a disaster. It would have been really embarrassing. All right. So now we have keyboard. We're going to play some bass. I'm going to put my guitar down because it's just kind of in the way. Hold on. All right. So let me see. Actually, you know what? Let me stop here and take a second and see if there's any questions about the process so far. So if you have any questions kind of about like what I've done so far, besides hoping that I will play Freebird, which I will not, I will not be playing Freebird. But number one, I guess, of this point, thanks for tuning in again. Welcome to the new people. If you have no idea what's happening right here, I'm making a drop live on the internet, because that's, look, when it comes to music and music making, the best place to do that is in front of a gigantic live audience when you aren't really sure what you're doing. But it's the best place to do it. So the question's coming in: what kind of guitar? It's an Ibanez Universe. Who does the voiceovers? Casey, you'll have to go back to the beginning of this video to find out our trade secret. Play the Fantasy Footballers theme. Maybe I will play that again at the end. Michael's saying, how much does the software cost? I think Logic Pro is like $100 now or something. I mean, it's quite a world that we live in, where audio equipment and audio interfaces used to cost so much money, but now you can get a really a legit professional setup in your house for a couple $100. I mean, I've heard, I don't know if you've heard the stories, but Billie Eilish, the teenage superstar, I mean, she's got incredible talent, and they're recording. It's her and her brother, and they record in a bedroom, because that's the world we live in now. But unless there's any questions, I will get back to the riff making. So we're in the key of B, and Owl Borland's letting me know it's 200. Logic Pro is $200. I apologize. So got to figure out my riff here. There it is. Woof, man, it's been a while. It has been a while since I've played live music over the internet. But the great news about this is all MIDI, which means that I have ultimate editing capabilities over it. A lot of people go in and they will just they'll use MIDI. If you don't know what MIDI is, sorry, I can't get into that right now. But a lot of people just click their notes in, and if that works for people, that's great. That works for people. I prefer to play it in, and then I'll mess with it after that. But let me. That's not sounding right. There it is. All right, let's try and record it. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad for the first go. All right. What we want to do, though, is we're going to come in. We're going to look at our what we did. Oh, we got that little guy? Don't worry about that little guy. Deleted. So, pretty good. I was pretty happy with that performance. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I want to do anything to it. Do I want to quantize or not? For the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna wait. I can just do it down here now. I don't know. That's pretty awesome. Like I said, I was a Logic Pro 9 user, and I've been forced to move to Logic Pro 10, and I'm not nearly as good. I can't hear the key. Jeremy, are people hearing the bass? Are you hearing that? Are people able to hear that? I hope so. So I'll just clean that up a little bit. So that's the bass line. So let's listen to what we have so far. Some flute. To answer your question, brew and backhand, the guitar, I am direct into the system. I am not miking up an amp. It's just the process of doing that would just be, it's just too much. Like a lot of times for a fantasy football or riff, we have an idea for a segment, and it's, we're going to do this segment in 2 days. We're going to do this segment tomorrow. So I come in, I sit down, and I get it done after the kids go to bed. I'm doing this riff at like 10 p.m. at night, and we're recording a show at 8 in the morning. So setting everything up, and also an amp with 3 sleeping children is not really a cohesive type of a situation. So I just go directly in the box. All audio is just coming through my headphones, and I just go from there. So we got the guitars, we got the bass. Let's get my drums going. And so you're gonna laugh at how I do my drums, but this is where we are. So we got some kick, and we got some snare. All right, so let's record some drums. So this riff goes da na 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 na. So we're gonna go kick, snare, kick. All right, I got it. Here's the record. Oh man, that was super sloppy. We're gonna go one more time. Perfection. That was, look, I don't say things a lot, but that was the best kick snare MIDI performance of all time. Yes, Andrew, that probably was the Immigrant Song. But like with super 80s sounding drums. All right. So then I take that performance, that magnificent performance that I have just created, where so if you look at these, those are the MIDI notes. That's what the computer is reading and replaying through the software instrument. So what I do, I just duplicate that, because I have 3 channels. I want to point at my screen. I have 3 channels, if you can see, and they're just EQ'd properly for a kick, a snare, and cymbal. But I play everything on one channel and then I break it up. So check this out. So this is, I'll highlight it. So that's my kick channel. I come in here. Oops. I come in here and I delete out the snare. I come into my snare channel. I delete out my kick. Then I come down to my snare channel and I take my, let's see, do I take the kick drum or do I take the snare? So we'll delete out the snares and we will take the kick drum and we're going to drag this up and make them cymbals. Ready? There we go. Look at that. Drums. Drums, everybody. All right, let's listen back. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Yes. Yes. That was amazing. All right. Let me get this thing out of here. So there you have it. That's a drop, right? And then I'll take the modulated audio of Jason doing the drop, and I'll just position it in at the end. And then, and if you know the show, often I will have a tail or like an ending version of the riff. So we got this do do bo do bo do mailbag bo do bo bo do do. William, who is a drummer, I am sorry you're offended with that. Look, I would much rather have a full kit set up here with like pristine miking techniques, but this is what I have to do. Zach says he's nervous starting he's just starting to use a DAW. How long did it take you to feel comfortable? It takes a while, man. It honestly it takes a good few months of really using it before everything becomes second nature. So, but once you have your your pipeline, your workflow, once you have that all worked out and learning your keyboard shortcuts and everything, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So I got the mailbag vocal, I think, where it should be timed up. Let's listen through.
Mailbag.
Ooh. See that? Nope. Timing of that is way too soon. You definitely have to have a hesitation between the music and the announcing of the segment. So I'm going to move this back. I'm going to try it again.
Mailbag.
That's pretty good, everybody. That's pretty good. So then I would just come in here. I would select the area that I want to be bounced. I'll add a fade at the end, but I mean that's the honest truth. That's pretty close to about what a workflow for a riff for a fantasy footballer segment. Let's see. I'm going to answer a few more questions though before we sign this off. Let's see, what player is that on the top of your keyboard? Oh, what, right here? That's Fitz. That's my man Fitz. And then Iron Man's kind of back there as well. Let's see. Any other questions? How is Andy? He's doing better. He's on the mend. We're hoping that he will be back on the show next week. Do it live. Why am I watching this? Because what else are you going to do, man? For the guitar, are you using old school pedal effects or digital? Everything, Preston, everything is digital. Everything is inside the box. I don't have time to hook up all the things. In life, it's like, do I need to spend 3 hours making this riff, making this drop, or do I need to spend 30 minutes making it? And and I'm still getting most of the effect. Like, it still sounds great. You got to go with the 30 minutes in this type of world. No mastering or anything. No, so create till death. So for the mastering, I basically I cheat. I kind of crank the gain. That's how I go about it. I don't do a full mastering process. Let's see, Justin, is this just a tutorial for a drop? Yes. Do you see? Isn't this thing titled "Watch Mike Make a Drop"? Ryan, the software I'm using is Logic Pro X. Nicholas says I should consider adding some Jason shutters behind me. That's true. It's true. Those are really good shutters. I'm trying to see if there's anyone. Let's see. Timmy says, watching as a Logic user who can't make beats that sound half as good. I appreciate that, Timmy. I take that as a compliment. Thank you. Look, this is a 100% an oversimplification of the process because I already have a template. I already went through all the time and all the struggles to figure out how I want my guitars to sound, how I want to have the guitar performance recorded. I've decided 3 tracks, a left track, a center, and a right track, and that's how I pan them. So it's not just it's not just as simple as it's seeming right now. So I'll play the drop one more time, see if there's any more questions, and then I'll probably get out of here. But let's see what it sounds like.
Mailbag.
Pretty happy, man. Pretty happy. Let's see. Irie says, what instrument would you draft with your first overall pick? I'm a bass player in my heart. This is, yeah. Like, you can't see him right now because the webcam was panned down so you could actually see me playing the guitar. But I can probably put it back up. But so that's my collection right there. Those are my guitar. Whoa, I went up way too far. Sorry about that. But so that's my guitar, or my guitar is back there, and I am a bass player in my heart. Let's see. My wife is asking if I can play Fireflies. No, it's there's a lot going on to that. Preston, ever play a 7 or 8 string? The guitar I just used to make that riff, that was a 7 string. Come on down, webcam. So yeah, I play a 7 string for this. When I play live, I play a 6 string, preferably. Play Fire and Ice. I can't play that right now. We're streaming live. Let's see. At a live show, can I play it like I did the other day? I don't know, man. Well, that's also, again, not as easy as it sounds. It's not just plug in a guitar and play it. So Tate says, what's the purpose for having the low part in the left channel versus the high in the right part? That was just the template that I came across that sounded good. It's funny that it seems like there's all these rules and technicalities that you have to go through with plugins and you're mixing and things have to be over here. But at the end of the day, it's what sounds good to you. I mean, yeah, you there should be an eye test of certain things that are happening with your meters and everything, but does it sound good? If it sounds good to you, then it's probably good. I mean, you got to do the old car test and things like that. But I mean, for the most part, it's just play what sounds good. Let's see. Norman, do you use additional virtual instruments, or is everything part of the recording software? For this purpose, everything is a part of Logic Pro X. Everything is a default plugin. Back when I was a composer for the game company, I had everything, man. Like I talked about my audio interface from Native Instruments. It's the complete audio, but Contact, man, I had all of the plugins from Native Instruments, and I used to be a wizard with that stuff. Not so much anymore because I talk about football for my living now, and this is kind of a secondary piece. Let's see. Fangoriously is going to go drink a hot dog milkshake. That's a nod to the Spitballers podcast. Zach, have you ever tried other DAWs? Is Logic what you'd recommend for everyone? So I went to Logic specifically for MIDI. My original experience on anything was Pro Tools, but Pro Tools, back when I was learning things, Pro Tools was an analog to digital workstation. It was you play things for real. If you want the piano, you're going to play the piano. It wasn't known for being real friendly for MIDI. I've heard things have improved over there since then, but I had to make the transition because I needed software instruments. I needed my workstation to be able to house all my sound effects. I didn't want to have 20 synthesizers, in my house. Nor did I want to pay for 20 synthesizers. All right. My wife has started plenty of conversations about Fireflies. Rome says the footballers are bigger than the Beatles. I mean, I don't want to say you're wrong because you're probably not wrong. Beatles, Schmeatles. That's what Jason would say. Adam says, I'm just getting started out recording in his home office. What microphone do you suggest? I suggest the Behringer B1. I think it's $100. You will need an audio interface. Step one, which I've said step one a lot, but step one, research how to use your equipment. YouTube is full of so many tutorials. Learn about audio, learn about microphones, learn all of those things because you can actually make lower end equipment sound pretty good. Like, yes, the higher end equipment, you won't be able to match it, like specifically for microphones, but you can get really, really close. So a Behringer B1 is a pretty well-rounded microphone. You can use it for vocals. You can record some guitars with it and things like that. Do I ever flesh out full songs on Logic for fun or seriously? I used to. If you want to go to mikeawesome.co, because there was a time in my life where I was trying to rebrand my last name, and that's what I went with. Look, we've all made mistakes in our lives, but that website has a whole bunch of music that I did for the video game company for Jason. I did a movie soundtrack, and let's see. I would kill the tambourine. Oh, Jason Moore would absolutely crush the tambourine as well. Preston agrees. B1. It's a general use mic. The Fantasy Footballers podcast started on Behringer B1s. Sean says, do you do Spitballers drops similarly? Yep. Yeah, I have. I figured out the template for Spitballers. And if you've listened to the podcast, that's the foundation of Spitballers is funky, clean guitars. So the template is different, but it's similar. I think in Spitballers too. I don't think I even play the drums. I just grab like a drum loop that's built into Logic, and I throw that into the music. Lucas says favorite guitarist of all time. It's Eddie Van Halen for me, man. I get it that there's Satriani's and Petrucci's of the world who Yngwie Malmsteen's, like the dudes who can just shred speeds that I can't even comprehend thinking at that speed, and they can play a guitar that fast. But Eddie Van Halen's, what he brought to guitar, changing the way the instrument was played, and just his tone, man. His tone it connects with me on a very visceral level. Like when I hear Panama, it makes my bones feel things. So let's see. Tyler says, been playing much classic WoW, fellow Druid player here. Tyler, I haven't had the time for WoW. Who knows? Maybe if I'm stuck in my house forever, I'll get back into it. Hopefully my wife is not watching this live stream anymore. Let's see. Oh, Borland, were people asking how we're doing the podcast right now? So the way we are recording the podcast right now, we're connecting on Zoom for video. We're using the Zoom recording as a backup, but everyone is recording locally on their side. I think everyone has Logic installed, and we're just recording, and then we send everything to Al Borland, and he's producing. He's putting everything together. Awful Martian, how much for an opening jam for my YouTube channel? I don't know, man. At me on Twitter, and I don't know. Maybe I've got time to work something out for you. Let's see. Okay, I'll answer I'll do like one more question and then we got to get out of here. Jason says, Jason Yada, is there anything you can do on Logic you can't do on GarageBand? The short answer is, oh, he's talking about for my drops. The shortest answer is I can't tell you exactly what the differences are because I never messed around with the GarageBand, the DAW. I just went straight to Logic. But I know that, professionally speaking, Logic is just so much more powerful. I've been in GarageBand a couple times, and it was very foreign. Like I figured if I knew Logic, I could get right into GarageBand seamlessly, but it wasn't that way at all. They're the same people. Apple owns GarageBand and Apple owns Logic Pro, but they are very different, at least the last time that things have happened. All right, so that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I was able to give you 45 minutes of entertainment. If you missed any of this, the video should stay up on YouTube. Go back and watch the process of me nervously putting together a drop live on the air. Hope everyone had fun. Hopefully we can do some more cool streams like this in the future. Until then, take it serious. Stay safe. If you can stay at home, please stay at home. The only way we're getting out of this is if we get through it together. So I will see you next week. We don't have any more Footballers podcasts until next week. But if you want to check out jointhefoot.com, Jason and I recorded an extra episode today. If you want another fix for another hour of Fantasy Footballers. Until then, keep it beautiful.